Hey man, Jason here, and it's lunchtime. Well, it's a little past my lunchtime, honestly, and I want to make a salad, but I also want to make this whole diet, detox diet, a little bit simpler to do. Um, so there's a prep guide, a meal prep guide that you can print online. So I've printed that out, and it basically tells you how to prep all your meals, and they use a combination of jars and food packaging so that you have all your meals ready to go. Do that on a Wednesday if you're going to start on a Thursday. And then you won't have to break up your day every 2 hours or so to go eat, which would be much better for me right now, especially since I'm planning a trip. So I kind of did that last night with a small jar. I got 3 different size jars. The small jar is the one that they use for breakfast, so this would work great for the coconut quinoa. They had you do overnight oats, and that worked out great. In fact, I just left this in my refrigerator up by the bedroom, so I woke up and had my my Optimize in the morning, waited half an hour, and then my breakfast was right there. So it was almost like having breakfast in bed. Win-win. So it would be nice, especially lunchtime. Like I get busy doing stuff, and I don't want to stop to go make lunch. But the foods are fine. I'm happy with eating the foods. It's just taking the time out of the day to stop, prepare, eat, all that jazz. So we're going to try it today with the salads. And again, this is the first time I've probably ever food prepped. So I'm a bit intimidated by it. And I believe, other people would or could be too. So I'm just going to take you through the steps. Not super hard. It looks pretty easy. And show you what we got to do here. So first of all, to make the salads, it says we have to make the dressing. So there's multiple dressings that you can use with this detox diet. But kind of the staple, most people do, is the vinaigrette. So it just says make the vinaigrette dressing. So that's easy. It says a half a cup of olive oil. So that's easy to measure out. That's a lot of oil. So there you have it, the majority of stuff in your salad dressing. Just oil, right? That's why a lot of people would just go with oil and vinegar for dressing. One of the things I like about this salad in particular is it has you do cucumbers. And I don't love munching on these huge cucumbers. It's just it takes a lot of effort or energy, I guess. 1/4 cup red wine vinegar. It smells good. So with the cucumbers, and we'll get to this part, I cut the cucumbers up in just a little salad cutter here. It's basically a manual food processor. And by doing that, it gets the cucumbers in nice, easy to bite chunks. And it also produces a lot of liquid. So when you add that to your salad, that's already like having some extra salad dressing going on there. 1 teaspoon of salt, TSP. And I've got Himalayan salt here. TSP, which is tablespoon. Take the cover off. If I'm going to pour salt out, I typically just pop off the cover. And that wasn't very easy. So a tablespoon sounds like a lot. I'm just going to go a little short of that. Next is another tablespoon of honey. Teaspoons. Honey is here. That's probably going to take forever to drain into there. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and 2 teaspoons of parsley, and then mix all that goodness together. Okay, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I find, and we can measure this, that a half of a lemon will produce about a tablespoon. So if I need 2 tablespoons, I just need a whole lemon. Let me grab that out of the fridge. And we can test my theory to make sure that works. 1 lemon is about 2 tablespoons worth of juice. I just use one of these manual juicers here. It makes it easy for lemons and limes. Cut that in half. Put it inside my juicer here. And I'll just do it here inside a measuring cup to see how much we have. And this is sort of Capella. Oh my God. What's up with you, buddy? So that's 1/2 of the lemon. And I'm just going to measure that now into a tablespoon. Yeah. So that was probably maybe a tablespoon and a half. That's probably enough for the salad dressing, so I'll save that lemon for later. Cool. And next we have 2 teaspoons of parsley. So I've got my parsley over here. Just take out a little bit of your parsley, kind of chop that up. And that's not going to add a whole lot of taste, obviously, just gives you some flakes. There you go. That's about right. So now you got all your ingredients for your salad. Got some extra honey there. I want to get all the honey I can into that dressing. Hey man, it's for a 21-day detox diet I do, and so it recommends a microgreen salad. The microgreen salad is, basically just, lettuce and some of your vegetables. And the problem for me is, it's time to eat your salad every day, and then it's like I got to go downstairs and it takes me half an hour to make the salad. So I put it off until it's too late. So part of the diet that we have here, so that's your salad dressing. Mix it up and you're ready to go. So the idea here today is we're gonna prep like enough salads for a whole week, and that way, super easy to do the diet and keep going. But it's just called a microgreen salad, and this is just oil vinegar dressing, little honey, little lemon juice. So now we got that done, but you need the dressing before the salad, obviously. So to make the microgreen salad now, it says that she was using pre-chopped shredded vegetables, but I got a method for that. Set out 4 large jars, and I'm not sure if for the large jars, because it didn't say if we need 32-ounce jar or a bigger 64-ounce jar. It seems like my salads are huge, so I'm thinking this, but maybe the other one. So we'll go ahead and try to make like 1 in each size, see what fits, and that way you'll know what's going on. All right, so first of all, add 2 tablespoons of dressing to the bottom of the jar. So we just shook that up good. You can see it's nice and creamy. So that's all shook up. Just take our tablespoon here. And 1, 2. 1, 2. So now you got your dressing already in your salad. Of course, you could just leave out the dressing and do that later. But for purposes of this, since it's in the airtight jar, it should be fine. All right, next. To each jar, add a 1/4 cup of chopped jicama. So yeah, jicama is one of the ingredients that's kind of hard to find. And I do have it. I can't find it right now. No, I have it. It's hard to find. It's one of the ones that I had to go to Whole Foods to get when I was up in Buffalo. But if you check around like all your local stores, typically kind of the health food store will have jicama in the back. Let me get that show you today. All right, so here is your jicama. And this maybe is the first time I can show you the salad chopper. So it's just a plastic bowl. It's got salad knives in it and a top that you put on. So if we're gonna need a 1/4 cup of jicama, I'm gonna chop up a nice sized chunk of this to put in the chopper. So there's your jicama. Kind of looks like an onion, but more dense. So there's the jicama. It actually looks kind of like an apple on the inside. But I'm just pre-chopping it so I can put it in this chopper. So here's the chopper now, and you spin it around. So the more you spin it, obviously the smaller the chunks get. So it really depends on your preference or your taste preferences. Do you like big chunks or do you like little chunks? And for the jicama, I kind of dice it up fine like you might think of an onion bean. So now I need my 1/4 cup measuring tool. 1/4 cup of jicama, put it in one jar. 1/4 cup jicama, we'll put it in the other jar. And again, this this method is designed to make your salads all week. So I've got extra here. I'm just gonna pour it out in a bowl for now. But I'm trying to determine what size is going to be best for my salads going forward. The huge jar or kind of medium jar. So next, a 1/4 cup of shredded carrots. And that one, I am taking the easy route on. We'll just use the 1/4 cup measuring tool and use shredded carrots. You know, this is a detox diet, so whenever possible, I do like to try to use the organic ingredients. And, you know, how do you measure a 1/4 cup? They're like too big to fit in the 1/4 cup. But, yeah, just a pinch, eh? Carrots. Carrots. So it's kind of a race to see which one works. The small jar or the big jar. All right, next. Half bell pepper each. And I just finished this diet about a month ago. And I'm doing it again. I lost 15 pounds the first time around. Hoping to lose another 15 pounds during this. And then I'll be back ready in my game shape to go rock out some good workouts. But from that, I really noticed how flavorful some of these individual foods are. And the one in particular that really gets me is the red bell pepper. Something like I wouldn't ever use unless it was called for, you know, in a dish or maybe in a salad. But because of this has so much use of it in this diet, it's literally become one of my favorite foods. In fact, you get to choose, you know, a different snack every day. or the same if you want. And my favorite snack is really when you take the red bell pepper with so you need half for each. Red bell pepper with hummus, and then you add either carrots or cherry tomatoes and green beans, you know, any of those vegetables you like, celery. So that really has become my favorite snack, and it really fills me up good. So just rinsing off the bell pepper here. I haven't left you guys. Get all the seeds out of there. So I got half a bell pepper here. Alright, so sorry I got my back to you. I just chopped up the bell pepper. So I got this cool chopping board that you can kind of just flex around, and then you can pour it into your jar. So again, we got a race here. And you notice that for the bell pepper, I'm just cutting it regular, you know, with a knife, as opposed to using my salad chopper, because I actually like, you know, the taste and the consistency of the bell pepper in the salad. So therefore, like, I'm cutting that into larger chunks, so I enjoy the texture and the taste when I eat the salad. Cleaning out the other half of a bell pepper here. So probably not super exciting for everybody watching. Again, I don't expect you to watch the whole thing, you know, unless you're making your own salads for your own detox diet, which if you are, please follow along with me on fitunion.com under guides, ultimate reset, Jason. And we'll take you all the way through 3 weeks of this diet. Now, I don't show making every meal, you know, I typically kind of only show making a meal once. But it gives you a sense for how these meals aren't difficult. You know, if a hockey player, engineer, fitness dude can do it, you can do it too. So you don't have to be super intimidated. But if you go on there, it will show you me making the majority of the dishes and giving you honest feedback for how I feel in the diet. Like, this is day 2 of the 21 days, and again, wow, and it still keeps me on. Good deal. I got a phone call. Oh, now this one's going to be a little bit harder because it's a smaller jar. So yeah, follow along on the website and you can see me make all the meals. But for me, this is pretty exciting today because I'm like, well, because these salads are like huge. So for me, it's pretty exciting. Like, which of these is it going to fit into? And my guess is it's going to be the bigger jar. Actually, I'm kind of hoping it's the bigger jar because it's harder to get some of these ingredients in this small jar. But there we go. So small jar is almost halfway filled already, and the big jar is like just the bottom. So I think it's probably going to be that big jar. All right, half cucumber each. So I'll just break up a whole cucumber. And again, this is one that I love to do in the salad chopper. So let me get a cucumber. And And I do like using the cucumbers in the salad. Again, I don't like tasting the big chunks of cucumber in my salad. I do, you know, when I have just cucumbers with hummus or something, but not necessarily in salad. So I'm just going to cut this into large chunks that fit into my salad chopper. Manual food processor, if you will. And put those in tiny little chunks. But one of the nice things about using this chopper is, especially on the cucumber here, is it releases a lot of the cucumber's juices. So when you do that, you know, not only are you getting just the juice from your salad dressing, but there's a lot of extra natural juice that comes out of these cucumbers too. So we'll try our big jar first. You see there's a lot of cucumber produced from just a half a cucumber. But it's almost like a cucumber relish now. I like that better on my salads. If you want the big chunks, leave it as the big chunks. But for me, this is the way to go. I really prefer like a tossed salad with the dressing like all mixed in, as opposed to, you know, just putting your dressing on top. So I think using the jars here is going to be really nice, because that way it'll be easy to shake that salad up and get all the juices like all over every little piece of lettuce. So now here's the trick. How do you get all this cucumber into this tiny little jar? Yeah, it's funny, my buddy Justin showed up here. We were roommates in college. Pretty cool. Fraternity brothers. Actually, not college. We were roommates after college. We both ended up with jobs in Arizona. So I'm like, hey man, go to Arizona, figure out where your job is, get a place halfway between, and we'll live there. And so ultimately, that's what eventually happened. But if I remember correctly, Justin used to work at one of the fancy restaurants at school, and he started off as just a salad chef. And so, you know, you're just prepping ingredients like this for the salad bar, but worked his way up, you know, after 4 or 5 years at school to one of the top chefs there. And so it's funny, whenever I go to make a salad, I'm kind of thinking about that in the back of my mind, like, hey, this is what Justin used to do. Okay, so we got the cucumber, now it says a half tomato. And again, I'm weird with this. Instead of using a half tomato, I basically figure like how much tomato is a half tomato, and I just use grape tomatoes instead. So, you know, a half tomato is maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 tomatoes. And, you know, it's super hard to cut tomatoes too. So I don't really want to sit there and cut tomatoes all day. But I enjoy eating the big chunky pieces. So I just take the grape tomatoes here, cut them in half, which, you know, releases some of the flavor, but you still get nice big chunks. So there's the tomato. My big jar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the little jar. So same amount of tomatoes, I'm going to throw it in the little jar here. So you can see the little jar is almost filled with just the vegetables, and we haven't added any salad yet. So I think we're going to end up using these big jars. All right, next we need sprouts. So I'll get the sprouts. Here go the sprouts. Just little box of sprouts, and it says about a quarter cup. So again, that's about a pinch. Just take a pinch, throw it in there. You measure the stuff kind of once, and then once you do it over and over, you can tell by touch or sight or smell how much you need. After that, we need 1 teaspoon of cilantro. So we do have cilantro. It looks just like the Italian parsley, but it's different, tastes different. So let's grab the cilantro. That is definitely cilantro. So it says a tablespoon of cilantro, so you really don't need much. I just kind of cut off the end, chop that up. Where's my big chopping knife? So a little bit of cilantro for each one. So I mean, this basically tells me what I was looking for. Do you use the 32 jars, which they call large, or the 64 ounce jars, which they call extra large? And obviously we have to use the extra large ones because after this we have all the ingredients, but now what we need to do is add 3 cups of lettuce, you know, which is really the basis or the foundation of your salad there. So let me get another bigger jar. So since we've already run out of room here, just interested. So there's the same thing you just had, but now it's kind of all upside down. You've mixed that salad dressing in even more. All right. And then next, all you need is 3 cup salad greens. So it says to get like a spring mix of some sort. If you can get like the baby spring mix, I prefer that because they're kind of like smaller leaves and stuff. It's like, why is he showing me a movie where it's just 2 big jars? So 3 cups. It's super hard to measure. What is a cup of lettuce, you know, because like how hard do you squeeze it in there? But basically in this case, there's 1. So yeah, you're gonna fill up the jar. So you got about a quarter of this jar filled before the lettuce, and then 3/4 of the jar is just gonna be your lettuce. So that to me makes a lot of sense. Back when they had them, I used to be a big fan of, well, not really a big fan, but it was just something healthy-ish to eat on the road, of the McDonald's salads. So I would go to McDonald's, and they made them like in a UFO tray. So it was like a black bottom with a white top, clear top, and you get the salad in there. And you can get chicken or fried chicken or whatever. So I'd get the salad, I'd put the dressing in, and then I'd sit there and shake it. Because again, like I like the tossed salad where it's all mixed together. So that's one thing I like about preparing the salad. You know, you can take this with you now in a book bag or a cooler to work. To store these, it says just store this in the refrigerator. When it's time for salad, get out a jar. Now, I think it's going to be very difficult, you know, depending on your length of fork there, to eat out of this jar. So I'd recommend taking, you know, the jar, mixing it up good, getting the salad the consistency you want, and then pouring it out into a bowl. So I've been doing this diet now for a couple weeks. And I had to kind of decide which bowl is it. Now this I think is bigger than, you know, your normal cereal bowl. This is pretty much what I would determine to be a salad bowl, and this is more like a fruit bowl you'd leave out on the table. But for this salad, I know that it should fit fine in this salad bowl type bottle here. So after I've mixed this up pretty good, just curious as to if this all fits in the salad. But I can already tell this is going to be like much better distribution of all the foods and the juices. So I'm all ready. All right, lost internet there for a second. So I'm just gonna pour this out. Oh man, that's awesome. That is really cool. So you see, it fills up that jar perfectly, and that salad looks, I would say, better than, you know, any of the other salads I've made, because now each piece of the lettuce, you know, has all the ingredients that you put in here. Now, it does look like, since I use such a small pieces of cucumbers and jicama, that some of those is still stuck in your jar. So since I got a wood spatula here, I'll get all that good stuff out. And then there you go, like you're ready to eat it. So in terms of food prep, I basically did this with just 2 salads, right? One that I made all the way in the large jar, one in the small jar, poured it in. But for tomorrow, if I just add, you know, 3 cups of lettuce to this, my salad for tomorrow is already ready to go. So if you're like me, I mean, you don't love eating salads, I'll do it. Especially if it's made for me. But now this takes away a lot of the excuses for me of not wanting to go make a salad every day. Because you sit here once, you do this like on your Sunday, or for us, the diet pretty much is best when you start on a Thursday. So I would say prep these meals like Tuesday, Wednesday, get that all ready. You start your day Thursday. You can make your breakfast in the small jars that I showed you, the little breakfast jars. And what we do for that is we're making either like an overnight oatmeal, or my favorite, if you're going the vegan option, is the coconut quinoa. So I don't want to make all these videos super long, and I need to sit and eat lunch. But I'll show again another day how we make some of the breakfast and prep those meals too. So you guys can see that eating healthy, it's really just a matter of being prepared, having things ready, and then if you got everything ready beforehand, it's just a matter of setting an alarm, waiting till your time is ready, and then going out and eating your healthy food. All right, that's all for now. Thanks to everybody that watched. Really cool to see Justin in there and say that little story. Thanks to everybody that watches. Love to everybody that posts and asks questions. We're here to help you too. Cheers.